Congruent triangles. What does that mean? All it means is it's the same triangle, but it's flipped in a different direction. How do we know that these two are congruent? Well, let's find out, shall we? There are 5 possible conditions that satisfies a congruent triangle. And those are side, side, side. Well, obviously, because a congruent triangle always has the same side. But if we don't know the sides, then we can know 2 of the sides and the angle in the middle, also known as the cosine rule pattern, as I like to call it to teach my students. You got the angle side angle way. So let's say we have a triangle. We know that this is X, we know this is Y, and we know what this is in the middle. We also have angle angle side. Okay, so if we have a angle and we have 2 angles, but we know what this side is, okay, and then we'll call this A and B, then that's another way of figuring out a congruent triangle. But this last one is really interesting. This one is called right angle, hypotenuse, and side. Because if we know what the hypotenuse is, and we know what one side is, then we know what this side is going to be, because we have to use this side for the Pythagorean triple, right? We use Pythagoras' theorem to find out what this big one is. So let's use this in practice. Circle the reason why these 2 triangles are congruent. We're given 2 angles, right? 2 angles. And guess what? There's a side in the middle. And they're both 7 centimeters. So guess what? It's angle, side, and then another angle. So that is my answer. Is this video helpful? Make sure you subscribe so you never miss another video like it. For this one, we're told 4 triangles and we have to identify which 2 of them are congruent. Well, let's take a look, shall we? Here, for triangle A, we know that we have an angle of 55, a side of 10, and an angle of 45, okay? Just food for thought. So for this one, we have an ASA, angle side angle. Let's take a look at another triangle. So triangle B, we have an angle of 45, a side of 8, and a side of 10, okay? ASS, first time swearing on the maths channel, interesting. But as you can tell, because we have, if I go back to my slides, there is no way of using ASS to show that triangles are congruent, okay? So we can rule triangle B out from this question. Let's look at triangle C. Triangle C, we have a side of 10, a side of 8, and an angle of 55. But again, we can't show this as proof of congruence, okay? So we can also rule this one out as a possible congruent triangle. So the answer has to be A and D, right? Well, not so fast. Let's take a look at D. So we're given that this is 80, right? What is this angle here going to be then? If I call this theta, theta is going to be 180 minus 45 minus 80, which is just equal to 55. So therefore we have an angle of 55, a side of 10, and another angle of 45. So therefore these two are congruent because of angle, side, angle. Is this video making sense to you? Join my Discord server and ask me whatever questions you want. I can explain this as much detail as possible. Now let's look at proving stuff is congruent, like this example. For this one we're told PQ is equal to PR. We're told S is a midpoint of PR. And we're told T is the midpoint of PR. PQ I meant, not PR. So prove that triangle QTR is congruent to QSR or RSQ, whichever way you want to put it. So we can see right off the bat that this side is equal. I'll call this side 1, right? This is 1, triangle 1, and then this is triangle 2. We can see that side 1 is equal to side 2 because it shares the same side, right? Additionally, we can say that theta 1 here is equal to theta 2 here. Why? Because PQR is an isosceles triangle. And for an isosceles triangle, if these two are equal, then these two are always equal as well. And finally, we need one more bit of information to show that this is congruent. We can say that QR is equal to TR because, right, PQ is equal to PR and S and T are midpoints. Okay, so now we know that this is side 1 is equal to side 2. We know that theta 1 is equal to theta 2, and we're also told that these two are equal. So therefore they are congruent because of side, angle, side. And that is our final answer. Last example of the day. We're told that A and B are points on the circumference with center O, and we're told that CA and CB are both tangents. So how can we prove that these two are congruent? Well, once again, CO, if I call this 1 and I call this 2, right? CO is equal to CO for both triangles, as they both share that side. Okay? And remember what we said about circle theorems. CBO is equal to CAO, which is both equal to 90 degrees. Why? Because tangent meets radius at 90 degrees. Okay? So now we have a hypotenuse, a right angle, and guess what? We also know that AO is equal to OB. Why? Because they are the radius. So now we have a right-angled hypotenuse and a side. And so therefore, OAC is congruent to OBC. Thank you guys for watching. I hope this video made sense. If you guys want to get tutored by me and pass your exams with flying colours, drop me an email and we can organise a meeting and a quote. Keep on learning, as you have no idea what you're capable of doing.